welcome to 7th grade math class, Pre-Algebra with Mr. Hennessy. And happy St. Patrick's Day. And our camera operator today is Luke Heineman. There he goes. Thank you, Luke. And so here we go. This is the new topic. We actually wrote some of this down before you left, but I wanted to review it very quickly. Triangles always have 3 angles and 3 sides. It's kind of like duh. The sum of the 3 angles is always equal to 180 degrees, and that's why we ripped that triangle before you left into 3 pieces and showed that every triangle is equal to 180 degrees. We're going to use that in a minute. Right now we're just going to look at their names, which you also have down, but I want to review. So this one, because it has a 100-degree angle in it, it would be called obtuse. You can't have 200-degree angles in a triangle, because if you did, it wouldn't be a triangle anymore. You can try it on your own if you want to. This one, because all the angles are acute, it's called an acute triangle. This one, because you have one right angle up here, which is what the black square means, it's 90 degrees. That is called a right triangle. Okay, let's go down. So these are all by their angles, and I call that their first name. Their last name is by their sides. This one has all the sides the same, and so this is called an equilateral. By the way, if you're not wearing green, you might get pinched, so you better go get some green on. Okay, this one has 2 sides the same, and so that's called isosceles. And I always had trouble remembering that, and so what I remembered was I saw 2 fleas. And then to help you to memorize isosceles is I saw 2 fleas, which means 2 sides are exactly the same length and the third one is different. The third one here, all the sides are different. These are called tick marks. This has 1 tick mark, this has 3 tick marks, this has 2 tick marks, which means all the sides are different. And that's called a scalene triangle. And the way I remember that is scales are on a fish, and fish are all different sizes. So I just remember fish. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Fish are all different. So fish will help you remember that this is a scalene triangle. Okay, so let's go to here now. Every triangle has 2 names. First name and angles, last name and sides. And you might want to pause the video and get some of this written down. If I'm going too fast, that's great because you can just go back and hit pause, rewind, and, well, rewind's an old term, but you can go back and look. All right, so this one, just as an example, you see that it has a tick mark here and a tick mark here. There's 2. And we look at the angles, it's a 70, 70, 40. So I realized that all the angles were acute, so that makes it an acute. And it's because it had 2 sides the same, we learned that over here, its last name is going to be isosceles. So in the book, they're going to have you name triangles, and you always want to give a first name and a last name for every single triangle you do. The other thing they're going to have you do in the lesson is they're going to have you find angles. So in this triangle, I have angle A is 2x, angle B is 95, angle C is 43. And what I want to do is write an equation so I can solve for x. The equation would be 2x plus 95 plus 43 is equal to what we learned over here. It's 180 degrees. That's always true for triangles. So 180 degrees. So now let's do some math here. We get 2x plus 90, 138 would equal 180. I have no idea why I picked such hard numbers. Would have been nicer to pick some easier ones. So we're going to subtract 138. So this is just a bubble problem now, you guys. That's all we're doing. If we subtract here, we're going to get 42 degrees. Divide both sides by 2. And we get x equals 21. Now the measure of angle A is not 21. It's x that's 21. And so what I want to do is go 2 times what I got for x. And 2 times 21 would be 42 degrees. So that's how big angle A is. Now if you take your answer 42, 43, and 95 and add them together, you better get 180 degrees. That's the way you can check it. Okay, so I want to do one more with you, so I'm going to skip over Luke to to the other board and write this down very quickly. Okay, let's say they get, can you see this okay, the red? Okay, we got x, 2x, and x plus 10. If I want to know how big angle A, angle B, or angle C were, I'd do the same thing as over there. It's just a bubble problem again. 2x plus x is 3x plus another x is 4x plus 10 equals 180. And then you would solve that through, so minus 10 and minus 10. So 4x equals 170. Divide both sides by 4, and you're going to get, I believe, 42.5. You guys with calculators need to check that on me. So you would take this number, and you would place it in each of these to find out how big each one was. So angle C would be 42.5 plus 10, so it would be 52.5, and so on around. Please look at the